Welcome to Shayoumi. I'm Nate Sean.
Yeah, where's Tarek?
Where's Tarek? I haven't seen him. Tarek, where are you? Come on over.
Oh my god. I'm sorry I'm late. I just had a quick lunch at Steak and Shake because after Roger Ebert loved Steak and Shake, I just had to have it because he loved it. Why didn't you go with me?
Oh, I was eating chips and salsa at home.
You didn't bring me any chips and salsa like you said you would.
Oh well.
Can we get some after?
Maybe.
Okay, we're fine. Okay, so the movie we're going to be reviewing today is Life Itself. Directed by Steve James, and it's based off the life of Roger Ebert, one of the most definitive film critics in American cinema. This film is one of the best films of the year. It just is well done, it's crafted, it's just dazzling, it's just emotional. It's the life of how Ebert grew up falling into being a film critic, but in the end, even though he was the pro critic, he did face his battles, first off, like relationships with Gene Siskel, the other film critic, and his battle of cancer, which is what caused his death later on in his years. But the film is very captivating, so as we get more into this film, we're going to go over a little bit of why this movie is captivating. So Nate, what was one thing about the film like that you were enthralled by?
I was amazed at how Chaz, Roger Ebert's wife, stuck with him even though he couldn't talk or do anything but sit there in his hospital bed or at home or anywhere. It showed how much she loved Roger Ebert.
And the thing is, though, one question about that. How did you feel like, I feel like when it showed him, like, you know, plowing through his reviews, trying to get his word out, being very in bad shape and sick, did you think that added to, like, the film's, like credit for being brilliant? Because I think, you know, it was showing us how he was making it his goal to make us appreciate cinema as an art form.
I was amazed that he was continuing to do movie reviews even though he was sick, and I was surprised when he would go to like a movie and then he would write out a movie review in record time. It was really quick.
Yeah, but here was my concern though, because this is something we all know. We're all familiar with Siskel and Ebert, the TV show. How did you feel like, because here's what I felt. Between Siskel and Ebert, it's obvious these were both totally opposite critics, and in the beginning phases, they just hated each other at first, because they didn't want to do the show. But do you think, you know, Siskel's, like his different sense of humor really challenged Roger to be more open with everyone? First off, here's the thing. There was this video segment about both of them talking about film criticism. Roger Ebert says, you know, you need to know how to give a movie a bad review.
They were both different. They're both reviewed
different. Like even in that interview, Roger Ebert goes more deep into it. Like, he'll be like, you have to have reporting in every review, what the experience is like, absolutely. You need to know how to give a movie a bad review and know that your reader's still going to want to go and see that movie. He even stated that you cannot, like, just flat out saying there's no reason anyone would want to see this film. You need to be fair. But Siskel had a shorter response saying, oh, I just act like I'm a beat reporter writing about a fire, and that's my reaction to the picture. So I think there was totally a perfect difference, but I like how in this film, Steve James, the director, is able to show that via the challenges they faced. Mm-hmm. Roger Ebert was outgoing, but at the same time, he wanted to be right, because, as said, he was an only child, so he was always used to getting his way.
Mm-hmm. Was this more of like a documentary, or was this more of like a memoir of his life? Or? It
was a memoir because Life Itself was a book he wrote, so, like, the idea was, you know, make it while he's still alive. Do you remember those interviews with Martin Scorsese?
Yeah.
And Werner Herzog? What I think about those interviews, those were two people that were good. Mm-hmm. Because Martin Scorsese, they've wrote about books on him. He admired Werner Herzog for his directing, and both of them would just examine on how he plows very deeply into the art of cinema, and it shows that in many ways via his cancer, just via doing it for Chaz, trying to make things right between Siskel and him, because in the end, Siskel is like his brother, I think.
Yeah.
But the only difference was Siskel didn't tell people he had cancer, he kept it secret. But like I said, the thing about this movie, even though it's very depressing, the moment that is just very like captivating and dramatic in a sense is when he's at that conference and announces he has cancer, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you're just wondering how much longer these reviews gonna go.
Or how much longer he's gonna be alive, and
like who's the
what
next?
would happen with all the rest of the reviews.
Like, let me tell you something. There is no other Roger Ebert out there, to be honest. There's a bunch of critics. Every critic writes differently, but no one could write as like crystal clear as he did.
No one can mimic him.
Because every time when I read his reviews, he would have the weirdest comparisons, but they would make sense to the clearest. Like, he was like, you know a movie's bad. You know a movie's bad as soon as you look at your watch. That's probably the moment for you that you're just going to hate this movie in the very end.
That's kind of like the quote, no good movie is too long and no bad movie is short enough.
You got that right, definitely. But I admit, there were times where I didn't agree with him. Like, I liked how in this film, you know, I enjoyed, this is like how we're kind of critics.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how there were moments where he's just like arguing with like Siskel over stuff where it's like trying to do different announcements. You remember it, right?
Yeah.
They just had it, man. But like, the one thing we all have to remember, like, if you're gonna see this movie, I'm gonna admit to you guys, you're in for a ride. Like, what was the part of it that really kind of... Did you think about anything after you saw this movie? Like given Roger said to have an emotional reaction from a movie is the important part, what was your emotional reaction?
It made me want to read more of his reviews, and it just inspired me to want to read his reviews, and it makes me want to watch the movie again, because it was so well done, even though it was kind of a very depressing movie.
Mm-hmm. But also he was good to the younger filmmakers or anyone who, and his benefit program probably still is to those young filmmakers. Because one time there was a point where, you know, someone told him, like, you know, send him an email saying, I'm directing this movie, and if it's screened, will you come? Roger Ebert said he thinks about it. He shows up. He's the very first person there. Roger once, like, was always aware of younger critics' future. I even know one person, he told me he got his autograph one time. The book from Roger Ebert is called Your Movie Sucks. Roger Ebert's signature says, but yours don't. So, even though he had his times of moments, and I admit, I never always agreed with him. The thing was, in the film, like, we understood how we can try and be better filmmakers, and based off what we want our audience to expect from us.
Well, you're never gonna agree with all the movie critics.
Never. It's one of the most important films of the year, literally.
And yet it's not even in any theaters.
You can find it on demand. The only theater we had to go to, but I admit this is a great theater. We had to go to the Landmark.
Yeah.
That was a fun time, but it was the right place for it, because Landmark gets the indie films first. I think everyone should see it, because you never know. Maybe you can be the next Roger Ebert. I hope to be it one day. I really want to write more film reviews as a career. Don't listen to what people tell you. Don't let them tell you, you know, like film criticism is outdated, it's just a hobby. It's not. You can make something out of it. If you seek the right people, do the right networking. I'm still in that phase myself, but you have a chance. You never know. There's many opportunities now at all these colleges, even community colleges now. So in the end, if you are a fan of Roger Ebert, let his positive words inspire you to do something in film if you want to pursue it.
I just think that this movie, it will inspire all the movie critics out there. It was just so passionate about how Siskel and Roger Ebert were, and showed you how Roger Ebert, despite that he had cancer, he still made time to write movie reviews and goes to movies and help people.
I still remember even a variety of the movies. You know, this movie, when it dated back to some moments, I'm not going to get into it very much because you guys got to see this for yourself, how, you know, he criticized some of the very good movies. And I'm just thinking, well, he probably has a point, but even though it's weird or odd, it doesn't mean it's a horrible movie. But Roger always had his reasons. Like, one example is the movie Blue Velvet. He didn't like Blue Velvet. It's a David Lynch classic to me, even though it's a twisted thriller. And that's even the same with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like, there's a lot of films, yes, he would always find one reason, sometimes really not like it, but in the end, he always had a point. So, therefore, Life Itself is an amazing movie. Just, you gotta see it, right?
I agree. You have to see it.
Shayoumi approved. Like, if you want to be a film, I think every film critic should watch this movie.
Not only film critics,
Film
everybody.
directors, producers, editors.
Everybody.
But also, there's this festival I haven't been to. We're really looking forward to it. We're planning on going in April. This is at U of I. It's Ebert Fest. 5 whole days. It's not a premiere festival, thank God, because most festivals you have to get up every time during, like, just Q&As, which is annoying. But at this festival, it's 5 whole days. You watch, they select from his favorite movies of all time. The directors are there, some of the actors. There's Q&A. Just
Isn't it like 13 movies?
Like 12 to 13. Wednesday through Sunday, called Ebert Fest. We're planning on going, and with this festival, even though I haven't been to it yet, I advise if you guys are trying to find a festival that's not a premiere festival, it looks like the right one. Because, you know, it just, you're gonna feel like you're feel like you're in Roger Ebert's house at this thing.
Yeah.
Literally. And you're gonna get to know everyone right away. You're gonna get to share your opinions on movies with people you enjoy, or people you're probably going to meet. But in the end, it's going to be April 15th through the 19th. You can buy a festival pass, which goes on sale immediately in November. Festival passes range from like $147. But the thing is, you kind of got to get the festival pass. You want the full experience, because the single pass, you can't get it to like the week of. But what's the point of even going for the single day, everyone? Do you want to just experience what Roger Ebert did? It's fun to go all 4 days, I suppose. We plan on doing that.
Yeah.
Literally. We're just going to watch all his favorite movies and be in the moment. So, Ebert Fest. April 15th through the 19th. Tickets go on sale in November to honor Roger Ebert. This is a festival we'll definitely be looking into going to. And who knows, maybe from that time, we'll be doing some feedback, maybe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to subscribe to our blog at shayoumi.wordpress.com for ideas. You can read some of our reviews there. We're going to start putting up more reviews and seeing more movies. And also, if you have ideas, just let us know. We'd be even willing to interview someone or pick a certain subject or genre. We're down for a bunch of ideas. Until then, I'm Tark Fumi.
And I'm Nate Sean.
Thanks for watching, everyone.